Good afternoon. As many of you know, word quickly spread this morning that there is now a confirmed case of COVID-19 in our community. Indeed, this has been confirmed by the Tennessee Department of Health as of moments ago. While this information does not come as a surprise, and we do anticipate that number to rise in the coming days, there is no question that the reality sets in for all of us when we learn that even one of us here at home is now a confirmed case of a virus which has begun to cripple our sense of normalcy as we know it. I want to first say thank you to our City Manager Tony Massey for his leadership. As you know, the Columbia City Manager oversees day-to-day operations for our city, function, and control, and he continues to lead ably an emergency management agency. City Manager Massey continues to keep myself, along with Vice Mayor Martin, and all of City Council apprised of ongoing developments and emergency preparedness plans, and we are moving forward with the operation of government in a way that all city residents would be and should be proud. Earlier this morning, I convened a meeting with our City Manager, Director of Emergency Management, Columbia Police Department Chief Tim Potts, and Columbia Fire and Rescue Chief Ty Cobb. And I left that meeting more confident than ever that there is no better team in place to manage us through these difficult times. There is no playbook for how to manage this unusual moment that we find ourselves. We must continue to protect and lead our community, and rest assured, we are doing just that. I'm also pleased to have today Alan Watson, CEO of Maury Regional Hospital, with us here today. Alan and his team at Maury Regional Health have been an invaluable partner through this process, and because of the skill and profession that his administrative and medical teams exhibit on a daily basis, I am confident in our community's ability to get through this medical emergency. In addition to Maury Regional Health, we also rely on our local health department and other private medical providers, all of whom are instrumental partners in this process. And I think it would be appropriate to remember all healthcare providers in your thoughts and prayers in the coming days. They will be challenged like ever before. During times of crisis, the best of humanity shows. Yesterday, I was pleased to join volunteers at McDowell Elementary School to deliver weekend meals for local school students, and this is happening all across the city of Columbia. In addition to school-specific efforts, our local school system has provided over 3,000 meals to children of our community, many of whom rely on that meal as their only meal for the day. Faith-based communities are stepping up to the plate and mobilizing unlike ever before. And our businesses and small business owners, who are the lifeblood of our community, are managing through an economic downturn that forces them to live in the moment and make critical decisions for today, but left wondering what tomorrow will bring. Understand that these small businesses rely on all of you to stay afloat. Figure out creative ways to continue to support these businesses in keeping with the guidelines that are being handed down by the federal government. I strongly encourage all of you to follow CDC guidance. While these recommendations and forms of guidance are recommendations at this time, and the city is positioned to take additional steps if necessary, we believe our community will rely and rise to the occasion. If possible, work from home or work on a modified schedule to limit interaction with coworkers. Avoid social gatherings of more than 10 people. Practice good hygiene. Avoid travel. Use drive-through and pickup options. And do not visit nursing homes or hospitals or other long-term care facilities unless there is a critical need. And call your healthcare provider if you are exhibiting symptoms which are consistent with COVID-19. What we are seeing thus far is that most of our community and businesses are taking heed of the advice and understand the importance of the moment. It is my opinion that the sooner we unite on the issue of CDC guidance, the sooner we can return to the sense of normalcy. At this time, I would like to turn it over to our City Manager, Tony Massey, for some comments, who will then recognize a couple members of his staff for further guidance.
Thank you, Mayor Molder. We want to let our citizens know that we have a new system in place to help keep you in the know on what the latest information regarding this situation. We've implemented a new text alert system for the city of Columbia. And to be able to participate in that, in which we already have 1,600 residents who have signed up, all you have to do is text the word Columbia, then the numbers 36000 on your cell phone that you can opt in. And you can remain subscribed as long as you like, and obviously you can free to opt out at any time that you want to. And again, that is Columbia 36000. I'm getting ready to turn this over to Chief Potts and then Chief Cobb will have some comments after him, but at times like this, if you look back to history for some guidance, and for those of you that know your World War II history, that you know during the Blitz in 1940 in Great Britain, the favorite saying of Britons at that time was to stay calm and carry on. So I can't think of any better words of advice for all of us right now as we get through this situation. Then I'm gonna turn it over to Chief Potts.
Thank you, Mr. Massey. I first want to ensure the citizens of Columbia that their police department is still fully operational and ready to respond if you need us. In addition, I want to echo what our health officials are saying and recommend our citizens to practice social distancing and other recommended health safety measures in this time of crisis. I especially want to compliment our citizens of Columbia on what I and my officers are seeing in our city. Our citizens are handling the crisis with an amazing amount of calm. And I'm glad to report that our calls of service are down. The vast majority of citizens appear to be heeding the recommended health precautions, limiting their outings in public places to attend to the basic needs such as grocery shopping, and are doing so in a calm and orderly fashion. As we go forward, I want to encourage our citizens to continue to heed the advice of our healthcare professionals and all of us to do our part to limit and minimize the spread of the virus.
I first want to thank also the businesses and residents of Columbia for taking proactive measures with the COVID-19 virus. We've talked with many of you over the past weeks about enacting control measures to limit the spread of this virus. Columbia Fire and Rescue, along with Columbia Emergency Management, is in constant communication with partnering agencies and health officials. Our first responders have taken a proactive approach with this COVID-19 virus. And I'm confident as chief that our emergency personnel can handle any emergency or disaster through our strong partnerships and education, through training and dedication in preparation for any emergency. From this point forward, we are not allowing any of the public inside our Columbia fire stations. Call our non-emergency number, 931-388-2525. That's 931-388-2525 for questions or non-emergency information. For any life-threatening emergencies, call 911. In closing, thank you for your prayers, kindness, your patience, and continued support for our first responders and our healthcare workers as we continue to evaluate and respond. In the days ahead, I encourage everyone to use precautions, take advantage of the many local businesses that have taken precautions through limited seating, social distancing, takeout options, as well as pickup services to avoid congregational groups. Thank you, and we'll continue to keep you informed.
Well, thank you again to City Manager Tony Massey, Chief Potts, Chief Cobb, and also thanks again to Maury Regional Health for being an example of how to manage a community through crisis. And to all of you in the City of Columbia, the Columbia resident, I thank you. Do not for a second take this situation lightly. Years from now, we will look back at this crisis and ask ourselves, what did we do? Did we do our part by taking the recommendations seriously? Did we help our fellow neighbor? Did we step up and stand out, or did we look the other way? I know this community, and I know this community will rise to the occasion. I'm confident that when we unite together, we will get through this moment of uncertainty and come back stronger than ever before. God bless you all.